Good morning. Another walk through the garden. This morning I'm in the front of the house and starting here with this lovely garden that I put in last year with the rocks. So again, trying to cut back on the lawn cutting and mostly the weeding actually. So I put in this. This is a Japanese holly fern, I believe, which I was a little concerned it wouldn't make it through because we are zone 5B. But I covered it and she came back. So there's beside designer jeans hosta, which is quite happy there. She's gotten very big since going in last year. And a couple little smaller hostas that I don't remember their name, but you can see I have not weeded this garden this year. I may have picked a few things here and there, but I have not done anything really here. This grass is not too happy, but it's getting there. So it's also just the second year in for everything. So next year, hopefully, they will be bigger. This is hosta. I think this is hosta water slide. And another fern. I think that's an autumn fern. So we do have a ditch that runs across the front, which is the bane of my existence. Trying to keep that cut, so I actually have somebody cut it now. And then this hosta, totally unknown. I cannot remember for the life of me what that one is. Rogersia, I put that in actually just this year. I had some trees cut down last year and they made a giant mess of this garden, a huge mess, because there was a tree in here and they ground out the stump and they just made a horrible mess. So I had to redo some things. So Rogersia went in this year. This hosta is clearly not a sun hosta, and so it will need to be moved because it is very unhappy. I'll have to find something that likes the sun a little bit more. That just went in this year as well. And this also went in this year. I love these little I don't know, I call them whip cedars. Whipcord cedar, I think is what it is. And just some grasses. Another hosta that's recovering from the trees coming down last year. A little bit of barberry. These lovely ladies were supposed to cover the ugly pole there. They're doing all right, but maybe I should have planted them in a little bit closer. They are transplants from the backyard. I keep splitting that same one hosta over and over again. This is new this year. I put in a Japanese maple here that did not take. I brought it in from the backyard. It wasn't happy in the backyard and it wasn't happy up here and it did not make it. So I bought this oak leaf hydrangea, which I'm pretty excited about. Got some nice looking color, and those leaves are supposed to get really pretty when the weather turns cooler, which unfortunately seems like it'll be soon. Another one that turns really nice when the weather, it's turning a little bit already, Mucdenia. I don't know what the normal name is for that. I've always called it Mucdenia. Really nice, hard to find. It was tough for me to find it here, but yeah, so that's that garden. So it took out a lot of the grass that I had to cut around trees and rocks and poles and made it better. And then I've got a couple more gardens here that I need to rock. So I added this little bit on here because it was also a pain in the neck for cutting. So I extended over here to go around the stump that this little plant is sitting on. So there's a little stump there. And so I just threw in this, I think this hosta is Gold Coast. And that one is sweet something, sweet love, sweet, I don't remember. And then this little guy, this one needs to be weeded around the edges for sure. It's gonna make me crazy, but this one is Let's Twist Again, which was like a teensy tiny little one that I split off of I have another one in the back that's doing weird things. So I put it up here, and it's actually quite happy because I think I put it up here and it was like one leaf, one teeny tiny leaf. So it seems to like it there. So that's always nice. So this will get rocks eventually, and I got to cut it. You can see where the tree stumps are. Those things just keep growing around the bottom. I haven't been in this garden for probably a couple of weeks. So, and then there's a garden over there that's going to do the same, but I'll get into those. Those are full of some of my hard to find hostas. So what I really wanted to get into, well, I guess I could show. So these are my rocks. These are also the bane of my existence because they've been there for a while and I just haven't been able to get out here. And when I did have time this weekend gone by, it was about 45 degrees with the humidity and I just could not. So this little one we put in, my mom and I put in last year and then had to fix it this year. So it's rounded because of the stump that and the mess that they made under there. So that's just a little one. If we go this way, the first year that my parents came, if you watch the other videos, you'll hear about my mom coming and splitting hostas. So we found, I don't know, one or two hosta patriots, I believe these are, and put them in. Mom split them, teensy tiny little ones. So this will be their third summer in. This might be two hosta patriots that were split. And so they lined the wall here, and maybe next summer they'll be full enough that it actually looks all filled in, but it's supposed to be a little bit of a fence kind of thing going on along there. Hedge maybe. And then under this tree, I've put some Bergenia, trying to get things to fill in. It's a hot mess. It's not, I just buy them and shove them in there and hope they figure themselves out. Some Aquilegia, that's, well, I'd say it seems to like it under there. This, what is this, a juga or bugleweed or something? That is not something I put in there. I don't buy anything that has weed in the name of it, but, and then I just threw this in here this year, a couple weeks ago, hoping that it spreads. I know that's I forget what that's called, but I know it's a pretty intense spreader, but I'm hoping that the rocks at the edge here will keep it from getting out of control where it doesn't belong. And then the hostas continue along here, right to the end. So some of these got pretty big. And then I had this rock fell right out here. I don't know what to do with it because I sure can't lift that, but it fell out. So it crushed a hosta. And so now I'm going to come up here where I'm working on this garden. And don't ask me why I'm doing it this year because it was supposed to be a next year thing. But of course I couldn't wait. So I've started it this year. So let's go over, see what's going on over there. More of my ditch. Drives me nuts. I will say it's much nicer having somebody to cut it for me. So, alrighty. So, so these hostas that are looking in horrible shape, but I got these for free off of Marketplace. This guy gave me, so this hosta, this one here, and it's matching, that was one hosta and I split it. I couldn't even get these all in my trunk. I had to put the seats down, and so they are a hot mess, but I believe it's just because we've had crazy weather and they're transplanted. But I'm really excited for next year and them to all fill out this space. So this is what got me started. I put them here and then I was like, well, maybe I should continue because I'm crazy. So I put these, I'm hoping that these grasses will grow over the wall. So I've put those grasses in, which I just actually uprooted them this weekend when it did cool off a bit. I uprooted them and I had to redo the soil because it's very sandy here. And they just were like wanting water 3 times a day. So I put a bunch of peat and hopefully better soil in underneath them so they look a bit happier. Yeah, so the idea is that I will rock around here and it will be sort of the front because the grass doesn't grow there. And so that's my plan. Put some hostas in. This area over here is super sunny, so I put in, I really wanted this, I think it's bee balm. Here in Quebec they call it monard. I really wanted one like that, so I bought it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. And then as soon as I got home, I realized I have one in the backyard. I bought this one because it stays pretty short. I don't want anything too tall here. And then I bought this, my first roadie. I've never had one before. I've never had faith in my abilities to keep one alive. I bought that in memory of my friend who just passed. She loved a green and white garden, and this is supposed to be all beautiful white flowers and then of course the green foliage. So I planted that in memory of her, and I sure do hope I can keep it alive. It's supposed to be quite leggy and kind of grow up a bit before it starts to grow out, so that should be the only tall thing here. So let's hope that that survives. And yeah, so once I get everything in, I don't know what everything is yet, but I'd like to put a couple more here. Once I get everything in, I will lay down the fabric, and I want this one over here a bit more actually, and then I will put the rocks down. I don't know if that'll happen this year. I have no patience, time, or energy to keep going. I think we've done about 3 tons of rocks so far. I say we, but I have done about 3 tons of rocks so far this summer, and I just really don't feel like doing more. So anywho, that is the front yard. This is a giant bush of, I say raspberries, no raspberries grow on there. It's just a giant bush of nothing, but it stays fairly well contained. Just as long as you cut back, go over it with the mower, so it can stay. It provides some privacy. And then back there is the vegetable garden. It's going out of control. Actually, let's go back there because what a hot mess it's turning into since I made the last video. Well, first of all, these babies have come up, which is gorgeous. My hibiscus, super beautiful. And then this still flowering. So June 15th and still flowering on August 7th. And then the veggie garden, squash out of control. I had to rip it off of the peppers and then stake up the peppers because it had pulled them all down. So I think I need to actually trellis the squash. I don't know. It's growing. I'm afraid it's going to be in the house soon. So yes, anyhow, we'll manage that. We'll see what happens with it. But oh, so pretty. I wish the bloom stayed longer than a day. Anyhow, so that's it for today. And have a wonderful day.